Welcome back to the David Pakman Show. I'm Farron Cousins sitting in for David Pakman today. You know, on Wednesday, a lot of us were surprised to see Donald Trump tweet out his goodbyes, really, to White House Counselor Don McGahm. Trump tweeted out the following here. White House Counsel Don McGahm will be leaving his position in the fall, shortly after the confirmation, hopefully, of Judge Brett Kavanaugh to the United States Supreme Court. I have worked with Don for a long time and truly appreciate his service. Now, most of us who saw the tweet when it happened thought, oh, okay, Don McGahn resigned. You know, he decided he's going to move on. He's going to go do something else. But either way, it was a little shocking. But you know who it was even more shocking for? Don McGahn, because the man had no idea that he was going to be leaving the administration sometime in the fall, shortly after Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation, hopefully. He was just as shocked as we were to learn that he was, I guess, resigning from the administration. And he also, yes, learned about it through Donald Trump's tweets. There's a lot to really unpack from such a simple sounding story here. There's a reason, obviously, Donald Trump has decided to part ways with Don McGahn. We learned last week that McGahn has been working with Special Prosecutor Robert Mueller, as is his responsibility to do so, and that Trump seemed to think that McGahn's job was to work for him, when in reality it's to work for the office of the presidency, more of the position than the person, to protect the dignity and integrity of the office of the presidency, not the person who happens to hold that title. So, if Trump believed that McGahn was his personal attorney, it's very likely that McGahn knows all of the dirty secrets that Trump has to offer. But the fact that McGahn had been meeting with Mueller and cooperating with him, and I believe he had ended up sitting down for 30 hours worth of discussions or testimony or whatever it was, yeah, probably didn't make Donald Trump too happy. Then, of course, there were the reports from earlier in this week that said that the White House lawyers, which includes Don McGahn, were the ones who were preventing Donald Trump from firing Jeff Sessions and thereby firing Robert Mueller. Well, Trump took offense to that. He didn't want people to think that Don McGahn had any power here in the White House or that he was over there telling Mueller a bunch of secrets. So he did the cowardly thing and decided to fire him at an unspecified date sometime in the fall, without bothering to tell him in person first. Now, as you'll recall, this is actually not the first person from the Trump administration to be fired via Twitter. But it does make you wonder. This man became famous, really, for the first time, actually famous, by going on and hosting a reality TV show where he would famously fire people to their faces. You're fired. I'm sure everybody remembers that. But now that the cameras aren't rolling around him, now that there's not script writers and producers, he's suddenly too terrified to actually fire people to their face. He has to do it via Twitter. I mean, what if Don McGahn wasn't on Twitter that day? What if he doesn't follow the president? What if he's one of the people the president still had blocked? How's he going to know he's fired? Does he just have to wait and watch it on cable news and hope that somebody else mentions it? Trump is a coward, absolutely 100%. If you want to fire somebody, go ahead and do it. You don't have to get on social media and tell the world first and wait for the person to sit there and hear word that, oh, I've been canned. I guess I'll pack my stuff. Oh, I have until the fall? What the hell is going on? That's essentially the slogan for this White House at this point. What the hell is going on? That's what we're living with right now. The other part of the story, let's assume, obviously, Don McGahn is going to be leaving. Okay. Trump then gets to replace him. How horrible is that going to be for the president? This man has proven time and time again that he picks the absolute worst people to surround himself with. You know, when we look at Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson was really, really bad. And then after he fired him, we get Mike Pompeo, who is so much worse than Rex Tillerson. Pompeo leaves the CIA. So he replaces him with Gina Haspel, the woman who helped revolutionize torture in the Bush administration. We've seen from his own personal lawyers that he's hired, Jay Sekulow, Rudy Giuliani, Ty Cobb, really not the sharpest legal minds out there in this country that were available to help him. So who is he going to replace McGahn with? I mean, who out there is going to want to take this position first and foremost, because that's really important. You know that the president is just going to beat up on you all day, and that he just wants somebody to come into that position that is going to protect him, not just the office of the presidency and that specific role in our government. He's going to want somebody that's going to be his lackey. He's going to want a toady. He's going to want somebody who's going to do whatever he tells him to do. And that's what he's going to pick. And as we've seen time and time again, anytime he goes for somebody that checks off all those little marks, it's the worst possible person imaginable, and it always ends very badly for Donald Trump. What's going to happen when he replaces McGahn with somebody who says, yeah, you know what, maybe you should just go fire Jeff Sessions. I don't care. Maybe you should fire Robert Mueller. That seems like a good idea. There's going to be massive public backlash. There's going to be replacements that come in that are even more incompetent than the ones we have there in terms of Jeff Sessions. And with Mueller, he's still going to have to reappoint a new special prosecutor that has to finish the job. Not to mention the fact that all of those prosecutions that Mueller has been farming out, and now there's actually speculation that he may already have sealed cases resting with judges that we don't even know about yet in case he gets fired. Mueller's crossed his T's and dotted his I's, and he's got his parachute ready. He knows that if he gets fired, these prosecutions, this investigation is not going to end. He's covered every single possible base to make sure that the investigation survives, even if his position with it doesn't. So Donald Trump is in for a world of hurt because he doesn't know what he's doing as president, but he thinks that anyone who comes into the Oval Office or anywhere in the White House really should be loyal to him and nothing else.